Welcome back to Slayer Talk
What the hell?
with Mark and Carol.
I'm recording with the Crypt Keeper.
Are you gonna interrupt the the theme music every time we do it?
No.
You laughed last time.
Well, because you're being silly and you make me laugh.
I'm gonna start to mute your microphone.
Fuck off.
I do the intros. This is not an intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Slayer Talk, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer show. I'm Mark. With me, as always, is my lovely girlfriend, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Much. It's been a good week. It's March 25th, 1997. We just watched the fourth episode, I guess, because third week, but fourth episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
This is our third episode.
That's her name, her full name, right? Buffington?
Sure.
Buffington the Vampire Slayer.
I'm sure that's what her birth certificate says, although it's kind of weird to think that her birth certificate might actually say Buffy.
Buffy!
I highly doubt that. Like, doesn't that seem like a nickname?
Buffy seems like short for something.
I can't imagine what.
Barbara.
You think?
I don't know. There are people named Buffy. I've heard of it, but I've heard people called Buffy. It's usually, I associate it more with like old money.
Right.
Oh, Buffy.
Or Muffy.
Right, but I don't know if in those situations it is short for something.
Yeah.
Or if it's an actual name. I feel like it's short for something.
I'm going to have to find this out. I'm going to have to find a Buffy and ask them.
We're going to have to go to the library and peruse the card catalog.
Look for a book about names.
Right? Name origins. Origins.
I actually like those books.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, baby naming books. It's kind of fun, like, seeing what different names are and
Christopher.
what they mean.
I don't know why I chose that one. It's a very ordinary name.
Yes.
No, Mark means a couple different things. So, one, it means he who is exalted. Two, it means money. And three, it means a smudge.
Carol is a song of joy, and my mom's name is Joy, so that's kind of cool.
That is funny. I don't know actually what Mark means. But I know the very funny joke from Top Secret. You ever see Top Secret?
No.
Oh, it's one of the best of those Abrams Brothers movies.
Okay.
Like they did Airplane and stuff, To me, it's the best one. It's the one with Val Kilmer. But anyway, the woman in it is German, and she says her name is something, and she's like, oh, it means this. My mother thought it was it's like, something beautiful, like you said, like Song of Joy or something like that, right? And she's like, what's your name mean, Nick? And he was like, I don't know. My dad thought of it while he was shaving.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So,
what's his name? The Roger Ebert, the film critic. He said, with the Abrams Brothers movies, you always laugh twice at every joke. You laugh at the joke, and then you laugh at yourself for laughing at something so stupid.
Cute. So this week on Buffy,
Speaking of stupid.
it was like I don't know, the sexual assault episode, except it was against the boys.
Yeah, the boys. Finally.
It was
finally
weird.
The boys are getting their turn to be sexually assaulted.
It's weird.
I did kind of think it was odd because, so this episode is called Teacher's Pet. Mm-hmm. And it features a supposedly hot teacher.
You don't think she's hot?
She's fine. She's a very standard-looking woman.
Huh.
They couldn't have gotten a more just standard-looking woman.
Interesting.
She's not ugly. She's not hot. She's just a regular-looking woman.
I think it was her body or whatever.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, kudos to them, I guess, for casting appropriately, but she looked like a middle-aged woman. But anyway, so the Buffy, the reason the woman comes to be is because Buffy kind of bonds with her teacher.
Yeah, finally, there's somebody who's like, hey, I don't care about, your bad permanent record. We'll show them. You just need to, actually do your homework. And she was all, like, excited. And
I'll give it to him. It sounds cheesy, but the way it was played, the way it was acted by both Sarah Michelle Gellar and the actor that played this professor that we met for one time.
Right.
I actually felt something.
Yeah, they did. They did a really nice job with that.
Like, they really had a really good connection, and then they immediately kill him. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she discovers his body, and his head has been removed. And that had to be so traumatizing even if she didn't know him, that would be traumatizing. But
By
to
the way,
be the one teacher that, she actually liked.
I got something to say about all that situation later.
Okay.
But so he's a biology teacher, and he's talking about insects and things like that, ants and everything. And he gets attacked by what looks like some kind of giant insect.
Ugh. Yeah.
Although we only really see the arm, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was more like a shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow of more,
But anyway, so he gets attacked and killed. And how many people are going to die at this school before people start asking questions?
But I mean, like they said, it's like people don't want to believe anything's wrong, so they don't.
But it's
It's a hell mouth.
It doesn't. You think that explains anything?
I think that it's supposed to. I think it is the catch-all response to.
I'll tell you, it's very unbelievable that so many things go on and no one gets wind of it.
But this is the premise of the show.
Well, at some point, yeah, and it's one of those game-breaking premises to me, because at some point, like, if no one discovered anything, if it was all in the shadows, that would be one thing, but they're actually discovering bodies, like, every week at this school. Mm-hmm. At some point, don't you think, like, the fucking FBI or somebody would be like, what is going on?
Well, okay, last week, no bodies. Okay, the cheerleaders got hurt. None of them died.
Yeah, that woman just got her fucking mouth completely covered up. No investigation necessary there.
Simple surgery.
That's just something that happens out of nowhere. Oh, and it reversed itself. Cool.
But I mean, like, the mom's the one that, died, but her body was just gone.
Right.
She's inside of a little trophy now.
Yeah.
And the week before, it was not at the school. It was at the club.
No, but a bunch of people died in a club. A bunch of high schoolers.
Yes, that did happen. And the bodyguard. The bodyguard definitely died.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a hellmouth.
Okay, well, there you go. What are you, a consultant on this show? Because that's apparently all the thought they put into it.
Hey, I don't know. I think it's cool. Because, like, how else are they going to have a show with a new episode every week unless they're, having dead bodies and stuff?
They should say something, though, about, like, because it's close to the Hellmouth, there's, like, it warps reality in some way, it blocks people's minds, it puts in plants false memories, something like that to give at least a bit of an explanation for why there isn't more of an alarm raised. At some point, if I'll give the show credit, if at some point, if there's an investigative team that comes in, it's like, what's going on? And Buffy has to try to, like, I don't know, subvert them so they don't find out. So she can continue to do her shit.
I guess we'll see. But yeah, so headless teacher. And then
a real Ichabod Crane episode.
Right. Then the substitute teacher comes in and all the boys want to fuck her.
Yeah, which is weird to me, by the way.
Why?
Because she's not that attractive. She's just a very standard-looking woman.
To you. Apparently to all these boys, she's hot. Suspension of disbelief.
I guess. But I was thinking to myself, how weird would it be if it was the shoe was on the other foot? If it was some hot male teacher and all the girls were like, oh, he's so cute and everything, and he was like, hey, why don't you come back to my place?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that too. Like, this episode would be a very different episode if the victims were girls instead of boys. And I think they do that because I think it would be too upsetting for women to watch because so many women do get sexually assaulted.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Agreed.
It'd be more like a bad after-school special than a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode if the girls were getting raped.
Yep. So let's just rape the guys. It's all right.
I mean, at least one of them really did get raped. He said he watched it happen.
Yes.
Ugh, that's so awful.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was.
I feel traumatized just from watching this episode.
And he's dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because she ate his head.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was
not in the good way, guys.
No. Well, it was the one that got went missing first, I think. There was a dude that went missing before him.
Before who's him?
Okay, so Xander eventually gets stolen. Before him, there was another
Stolen.
There was another football.
Why don't you explain a little bit more of the premise of what's going on here?
All the boys want to fuck the teacher.
Yeah.
The teacher is inviting them to stay after to help her with stuff.
To make an egg sack for fucking praying mantises.
Yeah, there's supposed to be paper mache or whatever. And
but it's real, everyone.
The first one that stays after to help her doesn't show up to school the next day.
I thought that was the guy that was left.
Oh.
But
I guess you're right. Maybe there wasn't. So yeah, I guess that does leave the question of who. Maybe it was the teacher. Oh no, that wasn't worth
dead
either.
already. Could have been some random guy.
Yeah, I guess some rando. So yeah, that guy goes missing, and then she asks Xander to help her, and he's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm the man," and he's all excited. And then when he goes to help her, she's like eating, by the way, a sandwich of crickets that are alive. And just, hoping nobody notices? Like, why would you do that? You're trying to pretend to be a person.
Why is she doing this, though? Like, why would a regular human woman be eating a sandwich of crickets?
She's not a regular human woman. What the fuck?
Oh, okay, she's not?
I'm getting there.
While you're jumping the gun? Get there, then. Tell them.
She's a praying mantis monster.
Yeah. She's a full-sized praying mantis that can shapeshift into a woman, I guess. It's
really weird.
It's not very well explained.
And like, why would the praying mantis, if they want to eat live crickets, they wouldn't want it between bread? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's the weirdest thing about the episode is her consumption of bread.
Well, Xander almost catches her eating live crickets. It just seems like a really strange decision.
Do praying mantises eat live crickets?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to call the pet store and ask them.
Okay.
Well, they sell crickets for something, right?
I guess. They find out very quickly that she is a monster of some sort because Buffy goes looking for a vampire that's got a giant claw.
Oh, yeah.
Because Angel comes in.
Yeah, Angel got forked.
Wow.
He's got scratch.
Found your humor.
No, he's got scratches on his arm, which, like, I thought, like, I don't know, like, that looked bad.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to.
And he's like, be careful, he's coming for you, or whatever.
Which it didn't seem like he was at all.
No, she went hunting him.
And he's like, "Oh, don't let him corner you or whatever. Don't make the same mistake I made." Why is Angel just skulking around? What the fuck is going on with this
I
dude?
really want to know what his story is too. But
I do love too, like how he makes an excuse to give her his jacket.
Yeah,
I think just so he can show off his scar.
Yeah, maybe
because he's like, "Oh, you look cold. Here, take my jacket." She never said she was cold. Didn't look shivery.
Yeah, and then
indoors.
And then at the end, though, he tells her to keep it, so she now has a cool black leather jacket. He's just accessorizing her all over the place, because, like, the first episode, he gave her a, like, big crucifix to wear, and now he's giving her the leather jacket.
At one point, he's going to walk into that bronze club or whatever, and he's going to trip, and he's going to be like, "Oh, Buffy, these high heels just aren't working out for me here. Why don't you have?"
Right. But yeah, so she's after Claw Dude, or Fork Dude, or whatever. What Fork Guy?
Claudette.
What?
You said Claw Dude. I thought Claudette. Claw.
Shout out Claudette.
Claw. Shout out. Forkhand.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's hilarious too because it does not go explained in any way. Just there's a vampire with a metal hand in the park for some reason.
And, like, because Angel's warning her, you think this is the big bad dude for the episode.
I guess.
But it's not. Because there's something bigger and badder. As the teacher is walking by and he's about to go after her, she turns and looks at him, and he runs scared into the sewer.
Yeah, where they all live, apparently. The sewer, which is the world's weirdest rave, which is just a giant cave underneath the
I wonder
city.
if vampires have no sense of smell.
Sunnydale.
I mean, that would have to be the only way that works.
Yeah.
Because why else would you want to live in a sewer?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's their choice, right? To live in a sewer.
I mean,
Otherwise, they'd just be living in the fucking mansion, right? Like a glass house where everyone can see what they're doing. And the sun can shine.
shut up.
I'm pretty sure it's out of necessity that they're living in the sewer.
They could find other places.
Where?
Caves.
They're living in a fucking cave, apparently. Joss Whedon doesn't know what a sewer looks like.
It is weird. It is weird because it does look more like a cave.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Buffy knows that something's wrong with this teacher, and then she's like, Xander's supposed to be with her.
Right.
Was supposed to meet her earlier. That was it.
Yeah.
So then they're going to go try to talk to Xander, make sure he's okay. Mm-hmm. But they can't find him because now he's going to the teacher's house.
Right.
Because
he's the teacher's pet.
We skipped this part. But when he went to meet with her and she's eating her fucking cricket sandwich, she's like, oh, I forgot my paper mache at home. Come to my house at 7 o'clock.
Right.
So that's some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what teacher's like, hey, come, just by yourself, come hang out at my house?
The kind that wants to eat him.
Yeah, I guess so. In a couple ways.
Yeah. But, turns out, see, the first guy that goes missing, which is in the cage with Xander, because they're held in cages. Turns out that apparently she only likes virgins.
But
they go. I want to bring it up.
Okay.
I think I know where you're going, and I want to bring that up.
All right,
too.
go ahead.
But we'll bring it up at the end. So, okay, I'll bring it up now then. She kills, and she apparently mates with and kills the professor.
Right, who is not a virgin, I would assume.
Well, I guess, is he? I don't know.
Oh, I guess he could be, but he's old to be a virgin. That'd be weird.
Really old. It's really odd if he never had sex.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be like 45, 50.
He wasn't like a bad-looking guy or anything.
No, and he was a nice person, so I'm sure he had sex.
But we discover at the end, that's why I wanted to wait for the end, but we discover at the end that there are some eggs from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't just that she attacked and killed him so she could take his place. She mated with him, too.
It's so gross.
Forcibly, I guess, because he didn't look like he was into it.
Well, you can't really tell because his head was gone, but... I
No smile.
I don't understand, like, how you can force a guy to spread his seed. I mean, you can force a guy to do some stuff.
Yeah.
But that seems like something you can't force.
I don't know. Prostate manipulation? I don't know.
Ew. It's weird.
Yeah, it is. A giant praying mantis that's like twice the size of a human being, laying huge eggs and forcing teenage boys to jack off onto the eggs to fertilize them. Yeah, that's weird.
But
Carol.
does that count as mating?
Correct.
Does that count? Because he said she mates with you. This is how the guy described it to Xander. She starts pulsing and gyrating, and then she forces you to mate with her. Mm-hmm. He says mate with her. She's already... Oh, yeah, the eggs come shooting out of her, he says. Then he forces you to mate with her. So, explain it to me. Like, how does that work?
What do you mean, like I have fucking knowledge of this?
No, I want the kid in the cage to explain it. But, I mean, like, mating implies sex. But maybe bugs don't have sex.
Maybe she's got some kind of, like, vacuum-like appendage that kind of just...
Ew.
You know...
Ew.
Forces it to expel.
Gross.
Yeah, the whole thing's gross. That's the point.
So
That's not where I thought this episode was going to go.
No.
When we talked about this
How
episode,
did you think it was going to go anywhere else?
I didn't think that we were going to get into the minutia of how the interspecies sex worked.
What comes out of those eggs? That's what I want to know. I wonder if we're going to find that out next
Other
episode.
praying manti.
Ugh. Ew, maybe she's one, like the offspring of a person and a praying mantis.
I don't know.
That would kind of make sense.
We get some half-assed explanation because new Donald Sutherland, Giles, he calls somebody he knows in England that's in an insane asylum.
Right.
Who apparently was hunting something like this. And he was like, oh, yeah, this is what happened. He's like, oh, you were right, you know. So is he getting out of the insane asylum now or what? But he was like, yeah, you were right. It's like this and everything. And we found it. And he's like, oh, okay, so she likes virgins. Now, maybe that's not exclusive. But then it becomes implied that Xander and the guy that was bragging about his sexual exploits earlier,
right.
You know, big surprise, the guy that was bragging about how much sex he's having isn't really having sex.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of got to assume when high school boys are talking about sex that they're lying.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Always.
So, and she gave Xander a martini.
Yeah, she roofied him.
Yeah. Did she roofie him?
Yeah, but it's funny, too, because, she's giving an underage child. He's supposed to be 16, even though he looks older.
Yeah.
But she gives an underage child alcohol at her house.
I thought maybe he just had no tolerance.
No.
She
drugged him.
Okay. And then he wakes up in the cage. But, like, why weren't any alarm bells going off in his mind? This supposedly hot teacher.
There was no blood in his mind.
That's true.
That's why. That's the most believable part about the whole thing.
That he would fall for it?
Yeah, is that a teenage boy would just go along with whatever they thought a attractive woman said.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Have sex.
So they figure out that Xander is with her, but they don't know where she lives. They can't find her.
Okay, they look her up, Miss French, and it turns out that she's an actual teacher, who's 90 years old. That didn't ring any alarm bells.
Brace.
She registers with an actual name of an actual person. Whatever, sure, she steals this woman's identity. That's fine, I guess. It makes sense. But she uses the actual birth date. So the principal wasn't like, oh, you don't look 90.
Right. Who would hire... No offense. I mean, I know you're not supposed to have ageism and stuff, but who would hire a 90-year-old to teach?
Well, who would hire her and not have any questions when her thing says she's supposed to be 90 years old?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes no sense.
So they find her house, but they still don't know where the other lady is. I don't remember how they found her.
Oh, I do.
How did they find her?
They capture that fucking vampire.
Oh, and
she's
guy.
like, I know you smelled her. Well, here you go. They do have a sense of smell. I know you smelled her. Find her. And he finds the house. Then he attacks her very briefly and gets dispatched very easily.
Yeah.
Makes it seem like Angel doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, by the way.
Yeah, Angel seems like a pussy.
Because she basically just stumbles into killing this dude.
And she had the physical prowess to drag him around and make him do her bidding.
Right.
Like, I mean, she is a badass, but...
But Guardian Angel's not a very good Guardian Angel.
No.
You're right, he is just there to accessorize her. But yeah, I figured out Xander's role in this TV show. He's the damsel in distress.
Interesting.
Basically, that's what he is.
I like that. The damsel in distress.
Yep, that's his role.
The creepiest part about this episode, I think, was when the giant praying mantis monster is standing in front of the cages doing eeny, meeny, miny.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, those poor boys.
They defeat the praying mantis with the power of science.
Right.
Because Buffy figures out how to do it from science books.
Because she did her homework.
That's right.
Yeah, if she hadn't had the conversation
in
the beginning of the episode where he convinced her to do her homework, then this whole thing might have gone differently.
And she discovered that the best way to defeat it was to cut it up into a bunch of pieces.
Which,
Slice and dice it.
seems like that would work no matter what.
Yeah, on a lot of things. But what the thing that science told her was that apparently bats eat praying mantis, and so bat sonar sounds, I guess, kind of paralyze the praying mantis with fear. So she uses recorded bat sonar sounds.
Which is smart.
But at first, hilarious. She has Giles record it, but at first, hilariously, it's Giles just dictating something. And you're going into fucking battle with a monster. You're not gonna make sure the tape's on the right side. Come on, Giles. The fuck.
Yeah, it was funny though.
I guess. So, what did you think of the creature design here?
Pretty hokey.
Yeah, Rick Baker does not work on this show. I don't know who the fucking special effects artist is, but it's some, I mean, like pre-Stan Winston shit. Like, it's not good.
See, I don't know who either one of these people are that you're talking about.
They're effects artists.
I mean, I assumed, but...
Rick Baker did Gremlins. He designed and built all the Gremlins.
Yeah, definitely not Rick Baker.
No.
Yeah.
It's pretty... I know the budget's small because it's TV, but it's not great looking.
Well, I mean, it's kind of on par with that one show, Sliders. Like how they had those giant, bees or whatever, wasps.
That was bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that.
It was better than Sliders.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
But, yeah, not great.
Yeah. But that's okay.
But
at least
it was real. At least it wasn't that terrible computer stuff that they're trying to use now. Yeah. At least it was a real thing that they built. So I'll give them that.
A real gross thing.
I will tell you what, though. I wanted to punch the cinematographer in the face during this episode.
Why?
The big fight scene. Now, a lot of it's in shadow when she's cutting up the thing, which I understand. Like, it's silhouette on the wall, and her and sound effects, which I get because budget limitations. But it's so dark in that basement.
Yeah.
There's so little light, you can't see what's going on. And there's too many cuts, and the camera's too close up. And I guess they're hiding their monetary limitations, but I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying, but I don't think about that shit when I'm watching a show, especially like if I'm into it. Like, you think about that stuff. Like, I was just watching it like, yeah, Buffy's kicking ass, yay.
But I couldn't tell what kind of ass she was kicking.
Does it matter?
Yes.
Why?
Are you serious? How simple of a way to watch something is that? You want to know what the ass is that's being kicked, or else you can't form an emotional connection to the ass or the foot.
I think that giant puppet thing was probably so terrible looking that had we actually gotten a good look at it,
yes,
it would have killed our suspension of disbelief.
Well, I know that's why it was filmed the way it was, but I just didn't like it. They could have found some better ways, I think, to do it.
I guess.
But I don't know. The show's got to get more popular so it can get more money, so it can have a little bit better production value. Production value is still a little low on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody in here that's known in any way.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows who the fuck Sarah Michelle Gellar is. No one knows who... I figured out her name, by the way, because it says it in the credits. Allison Hannigan.
Okay.
No one knows who she is, who plays Willow. No one knows the dude that plays Xander or the dude that plays Giles.
Or the dude that plays Angel?
No, yeah, no one knows him either. Yeah. There's nobody... There are no... Like, in the movie, there was Rutger Hauer... There was fucking
Luke Perry,
Pee Wee Herman, Luke Perry, and Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
There was some names in the movie where you're like, okay, well, I know this person. Nobody knows who these people are.
That's okay.
So they're not. I'm sure they're not getting paid much money. I mean, they're getting paid something, but they're not getting. It's not like they're not making what the people that are on Friends are making.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Production costs are really low for this show. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing, though, is, TV shows about teenagers, I think, tend to have more no-name people because they haven't been around that long.
Yeah, they need more fresh faces.
Yeah, that's all right. I think they're doing a good job.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's part of, like, you can see there's not much money being put into the show.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's bad, that the show's bad. It just means they have budget limitations. And they're on the WB. So
Right.
that's not a giant network or anything.
True.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, I don't know if they had enough money to get Nerf Herder, I guess, but
Yeah, again. I wonder if Nerf Herder's like on
They're just gonna be
contract
in
for the whole
every
like
episode of
season
this
or
show.
whatever.
Teacher's Pet, Carol. What'd you think of this episode? Is this the best episode so far?
Probably, but at the same time, I would have liked a little more vampire in the vampire show. I mean, there was some vampire action, but not much.
There's not much vampire in this vampire show.
No.
I will tell you, I think this was my favorite episode.
Yeah.
I still don't love this show, but it seems like it's getting better.
I think so.
I
hope so.
actually cared a little bit about Buffy and her situation because of the teacher, and she seemed emotionally affected by the death of this teacher.
Yeah.
And at the end, she finds his glasses on the floor of the classroom. By the way, I guess no investigation. Cops aren't fucking doing anything. No one saw those glasses. But
Yeah, there was
her.
no cops.
She put the glasses on his desk, and apparently no one ever noticed that. And she grabbed them at the end of the episode and was like, I'm keeping these. And then we see under the projector there's fucking eggs of the praying mantis that's about to hatch.
Here's the thing, though. Like, do you want that to come back? Because I don't... Like, it feels like it should, but at the same time, it's like vampire show should have more vampires, so I don't know if I want more praying mantis monsters.
Maybe it'll be a thing at the beginning of the episode, of the next episode, where there's another, like, praying mantis. She's like, what the fuck? And then they, like, whatever, they dispatch it real quick, and then that leads to something else. I don't know.
We'll see.
Maybe that will make it feel a little less monster of the week, but I don't know. Anyway, that is the episode for the week.
It is. It was. I hope y'all are watching Buffy and enjoying listening to us talk about it.
Yeah, me too.
So go ahead and write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And tell your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.